After a few minutes of silence and tears in Tehang's room, both Tehang and Jungkook slowly walked downstairs together. The house was quiet, filled only with the soft voice of their parents waiting in the living room. As soon as they saw them coming down, their parents stood up. Their eyes immediately caught the red puffiness around Taehyung's eyes and Jungkook's tear-stained face. The air turned heavy, a concern filled every corner of the room. Jungkook stood behind Taehyung, his head down, his hands trembling. He couldn't look at anyone. His guilt was too heavy. Taehyung softly, "Mom, Dad, Uncle, Auntie." Everyone turned their full attention to him. Taehyung breathed deeply. I was to call off the engagement. A long, cold silence filled the room. No one spoke for a few minutes. Fact that one glowing with joy were now frozen stern. Jungkook clenched his face behind Taehyung. His heart stuttered all over again, but he stayed silent. Taehyung parents looked at each other, then at Jungkook parents, but no one objected. They knew both were grown-ups. This was their decision. Jungkook's mom stepping forward with watery eyes. "Taehyung, my dear." She suddenly pulled Taehyung into a warm hug. Her hug was full of love and silence. Understanding, Jungkook's mom gently, "We love you no matter what." She stepped back with a soft smile. Jungkook's dad gave Taehyung a light pat on the head before turning to his wife. Jungkook did. "Well, I'll take our leave now." They had a quiet word with Taehyung's parents and left the house. The way out, Jungkook paused, looked at Taehyung with eyes full of sadness and love, hoping just hope for one glance. But Taehyung kept his gaze fixed on the floor. He didn't look back. That night, Taehyung locked himself in the room again, but this time he didn't cry. Instead, he opened his book and began study with a new spark in his heart. His hands were still trembling silently, but he opened his books, began study with a new heart. His hands were still trembling silently, but his heart felt lighter after letting go. Next morning, Taehyung was ready to go to class. As he walked to the door, his dad called out from the living room. "Taehyung's dad. Taehyung, come here for a moment." Taehyung blinked a bit, but surprised. He nodded and sat behind him on the couch. Taehyung dad smiled warmly. "If you want, you can change your course now. We'll support you." Taehyung shocked. "What?" Taehyung dad nodding. "Yes, we heard that you said last night your mom and we didn't know how much pressure we were putting on you. We thought we were doing the right things, but we were wrong." Taehyung's eyes filled with tears again, but this time they were tears of surprise and happiness. Taehyung softly, "Thank you, Appa. Thank you so much." He hugged his dad tightly, unable to express how grateful he was. Within a few days, Taehyung changed his course to something he truly loved, visual arts and creative music, where he could sing and paint freely. It was his dream course. He finally felt like he was walking the right path. Although he was still in the same university, his apartment and schedules were completely different now, and his heart still healing. Back in the university, Taehyung would sometimes pass by the physics corridor where he once walked with Jungkook during lunch break. where they shared coffee, giggles, and silence cleansed filled with love. Now, those memories felt like echo for another time. He didn't see Jungkook often, just a few times in the hallway near the library or walking past the cafe, but every time their eyes met, it was only for a second. Jungkook would look at him with soft eyes, loving for some things, anything, a smile, a word, even a small note. But Taehyung remained quiet, calm, decent. Taehyung in his heart, I still love you, Jungkook, but some things cannot be fixed by love alone. Jungkook, on the other hand, was changing slowly after the engagement was broken. His entire world became quiet. He focused on his class, treated his students kindly, but nothing could. He would often pass the music room and hear someone singing softly. He knew it was Taehyung, that sweet, soft voice he had fallen in love with. He never dared to disturb him. He just stood there in silence, listening with his hand on the wall. Jungkook whispering, I miss you every day. He stopped sending messages. He stopped trying to force anything because now he had finally understood. And day by day he began to rebuild himself, not for a little, not for a reputation, but for Taehyung. He waited, he watched from far away, hoping that someday, maybe someday, Taehyung would see him not as the man who broken him, but as the man who learned how to truly love. And until that day come, he cheers every moment. Taehyung smiled, even if it wasn't for him. 3 years later, Taehyung was now working as an employee in the management department, one of South Korea's top companies, under the leadership of Mr. Min Young-gi, a respected CEO. After graduating last year, he gave one interview, and with the universe on his side, he got selected. Everything was going fine. That night, the office was almost empty, except for two people, Taehyung and his best friend Jimin. Taehyung signing, rubbing his forehead. Ah, Jimina, I know it's too late, but we need to finish this today. The meeting's tomorrow. Jimin groaned dramatically. Fine. I'll call one of my friends to pick us up from this work prison. Jimin left the room, phone in his hand. Taehyung smiled softly at his friend's behavior and he turned back to his laptop. Taehyung whispering, enter, and finally the file was complete. Jimin returning excitedly. He's coming, Taehyung. Pick your stuff. Taehyung neatly organized everything on his desk, making sure to leave it spotless as always. Together they walked outside and waited near the main gate of the office building. Just a few minutes later, a silk black car with tinted window stopped in front of them. Jimin left the room, a phone in his hand. Taehyung smiled softly at his friend's behavior. Jimin chipping, here he is. He opened the front passenger door for Taehyung, acting like a perfect gentleman. Taehyung teasing, wow, so polite. He chuckled and stepped inside the car without looking at the driver. Jimin got into the back seat after busy texting his girlfriend. That was calmly. Where should I drop you first? That voice. Taehyung breath caught in his throat. He slowly turned to his head towards the driver's seat and frozen. It was Jeon Jungkook, the same Jungkook he hadn't seen in person for almost 3 years. The man who once held his heart completely. Their eyes locked and the world paused. Jungkook was just as shocked. He had already heard from Jimin that Taehyung walked with him, but seeing Taehyung now so close, it felt like a dream. Both of their eyes filled with emotion. So much time had passed, but the love was still quietly excited. Jimin playfully, "Come on, Cookie, drive. I'm starving." That broke the moment. Jungkook looked away first and started driving. He dropped Jimin off at his apartment a few minutes later, and it was nearby. And then only Taehyung and Jungkook were left in the car. The silence was deep. The city lights passed by slowly outside the window. Taehyung kept his gaze low, but then something caught his attention. His eyes drifted down to Jungkook's hand on the steering wheels. There it was, the engagement ring still on his finger. Taehyung stared. Jungkook felt it, his grip tightened around the wheels. His eyes started racing. He knew. Taehyung noticed. Taehyung softly, breaking the silence. "How are you?" Jungkook's finger turned for gripping too hard. Jungkook quietly, "I'm good. And you?" Taehyung, "I'm good too." Another silence passed. Then Taehyung asked the question what was burning inside him. Taehyung gently, "You didn't remove the ring?" Jungkook's foot hit the brake slowly and he pulled the car over the side of the empty road. He took a deep breath, eyes still looking ahead. Uh, then he turned his head to face Taehyung. Jungkook seriously, "I will never remove it, not in this life." Taehyung's heart skipped a beat. Taehyung whispering, "Never?" Jungkook nodded, "Never, because I gave my heart to you and I don't want it back." He slowly turned his body towards Taehyung. His hands were shaking silently as the way reached out to hold his. Taehyung stayed still. He could feel Jungkook's emotion, the way he trembled. It wasn't just nervousness, it was guilt. Jungkook looked down, tears already gathering in his eyes. Jungkook was breaking. "Taehyung, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm let my expectation hurt you. As a professor, I only thought about marks, not your heart. I forget you are human too. I should have supported you, not push you." Tears ran down his cheeks. Jungkook softly, "I never meant to make you cry. I'm so sorry, Taehyung." Taehyung quietly opened the door and stepped out of the car. The road was empty and only the car headlights lit up the area. Taehyung firmly, "Come out." Jungkook frozen for a second, scared he messed up again, but he quickly wiped his tears and get out. They stood under the headlights, their shadow stretched behind them. Then without a word, Taehyung stepped forward and hugged Jungkook tightly. Jungkook stood there in shock. After a second, his arms moved slowly, wrapped around Taehyung like a delicate. Jungkook whispering, "I miss you. I miss this. I miss us." Taehyung rubbed his back gently. Taehyung, "Breathe, Cookie." Jungkook arm tight even more. Jungkook choking, "Please, give me a chance. Let me love you again. I promise. No one pain." No more pain, no more harsh words, just love, only love. Just don't walk away again. Taehyung heartbroken at the sound of Jungkook's voice all this time. He thought Jungkook had forget him, but this man still wore the ring, still remember everything, still love him. Taehyung slowly pulled back, placing his palm gently on Jungkook's chest. Their eyes met. Jungkook were full of tears, pleading for forgiveness, for a second chance. Taehyung stared at him for a long moment before he finally spoke, his voice calm but tired. Taehyung, I forgive you, Jungkook. Jungkook breathed hesitant, his lips parted as if he could believe what he just heard. Jungkook whispering, You do? Taehyung gave a small nod. Taehyung, yes, I forgive you because holding into pain is like drinking poison. I don't want to carry that weight anymore. But Jungkook, he paused, eyes sharp and serious now. Taehyung, if you want to hear I love you again from me, then you have to earn my trust, Jungkook. Those words hit harder than anything Jungkook had expected. He had hoped for forgiveness, but not a condition like this. Still, he nodded quickly, eagerly. Jungkook, I'll do it. I swear, I will. I will do whatever it takes. Taehyung folded his arms slowly, stepping back as if putting a protective wall between them. Taehyung, Jungkook, it's not just about doing things for me, it's about understanding what you did back then in the classroom. You humiliate me in front of everyone. Jungkook softly, I know, I was wrong, I was heartless, Taehyung. You didn't even look at me when I was in pain. You didn't remember what day it was. You didn't notice that I wasn't even well enough to sit throughout the class. Jungkook lowered his gaze, guilt swallowed his whole. Taehyung bitter smile, and then you call me useless. Jungkook winced. That word still haunted him. He hated himself for every letting slip from his mouth. Jungkook, I didn't mean it, I didn't. Taehyung interpreting. But you said it, and that's what I remember the most. I love you, Jungkook. I was trying so hard to meet your expectation, to make you prove to be good enough, but nothing was ever enough for you. Jungkook, tear falling. I saw it later, and by then you were already gone. Every day without you, it's been cold. I tried moving on, but I couldn't. I kept the ring. I wore it like a remember of my biggest regret. Taehyung glanced on at the ring again. It was still shining under the car light. Taehyung, that ring isn't what makes love true, Jungkook. It's your action, your words. Jungkook took a step closer. Then let me show you, Taehyung. Let me prove you that I will change. I'm not asking you to come back now. I'm just asking for a chance to fix that what I break. Taehyung, tears falling. Taehyung looking away. Eyes. Taehyung, love, real love means respect. It means patience. I need you to understand me, not shape me into someone you imagine. I'm not one of your top students, Jungkook. I'm just Taehyung, someone who feels deeply, someone who cried himself to sleep, wondering why the person he loved most made him feel like a failure. Jungkook's heart cracked completely at those words. Jungkook, you were not a failure, Taehyung. I was failed you. I was too blind to see what you need. I was so busy at changing numbers. I forget that I had someone who was already doing his best. I needed love, not pressure. Taehyung turned back to look at him. Taehyung, so earn my trust, Jungkook. Don't just say you will change. Show me. Jungkook wiped his tears. Voice more steady now. Jungkook, I will. I start over from zero. No pressure. No determinants. I want to be someone you can trust again. Taehyung. There was a moment of quiet, and don't come with flowers or gifts that won't impress me. Write to me, talk to me, listen to me. Jungkook nodding. I will listen. I'll listen to every word, every single things. Every day I'll be there when you cry and when you smile. If you ever smile at me again, Taehyung, I'm not promise anything right now. Jungkook, I know I don't deserve it yet. Taehyung softly. You hurt me, Jungkook, but I will grow stronger because of it. And now I won't expect anything less than the love I truly deserve. Jungkook firmly. Then I'll become the man who can give you that love, the one who doesn't just wear a ring but carry your heart with him, careful like it's made of glass. Taehyung bite his lips, his heart etching all over again. Taehyung, you still speak beautiful. Jungkook check her eyes shining. Jungkook, only when it's about you. They stood quickly again, the tension replaced by something else, hope. Taehyung, take me home now. Jungkook, yes, Taehyung. They sat back in the car. The silence was peaceful now as Jungkook drove toward the sleeping city. His mind was full of thoughts, plans, promise, and heart that was once shattered. Now slowly being back together, Taehyung sat beside him. Looking out of the window, Taehyung quietly, do you remember the way I used to drink hot chocolate before bed? Jungkook smiled faintly. With extra you bought it were not enough. Taehyung, only I still do that, Jungkook. Then I guess some things don't change. Taehyung finally looked at him. But people can. Jungkook meeting his gaze. Then can, and I will. When they reached Taehyung home, Jungkook didn't step out of the car. He just waited. Taehyung, before getting out, let's show how far you all go. Jungkook. Jungkook softly. As far as his take. Taehyung after a pause. Good night. Jungkook, good night, Tete. We watched him walk away, slowly, calm and beautiful. That night, Jungkook didn't cry. Instead, he opened his phone and wrote his first message, day 1. I saw you again today. I heard your voice again. I smiled again, and now I will earn back your heart. One word, one step, one honest promise at a time. Outside the office building, Taehyung arrived at the work as usual. He looked calm, but his heart was not seeing Jungkook again after so long. He thought back everything, love, pain, and the peace of the past. As he stepped inside the building, he heard a familiar voice behind him. Jungkook softly, "Good morning, Taehyung." Taehyung paused for a second, turned slightly and nodded. Taehyung, good morning. It was not much, it was something. Jungkook smiled to himself. A few days later, Taehyung was sitting on the couch with a coffee in his hand, reading some files. He looked tired, his shoulders a little dropped. Jungkook walked in quickly and saw him. He walked to the vending machine, got a warm milk tea, the one Taehyung always liked, and walked over slowly. Jungkook, I noticed you forget your milk tea today here. Taehyung looked up surprised. Taehyung quietly, you still remember my order? Jungkook smiled. I remember everything about you. Taehyung took a cup from his hand, their finger pressing slightly. He didn't say thank you, but he didn't refuse it either. It was late. Everyone had already left the office except a few employees. Taehyung walked out of the glass door only to realize it was raining heavy. He sighed, realized he didn't bring an umbrella. Before he could step back inside, someone held an umbrella over him. Jungkook, we all walk to your car. Taehyung looked at him for a long moment. Taehyung, you always appear when I need help. Jungkook softly, because I want to be someone you can rely in on. They walked slowly under the umbrella, the sound of the rain falling around them, the silence wrapped around them like a soft blanket. When they reached the car, Taehyung spoke without looking at him. Taehyung, this doesn't mean I trust you again. Jungkook, I know. I'm not asking for your trust. I just want to be there, even from a distance. Next day, Jimin walked beside Taehyung during lunch break. Jimin, so he is really trying, huh? Taehyung nodded. He is, but I still don't know if I'm ready to open my heart again. Jimin smiled gently. It's okay. You don't need to rush. Just take one step at a time. Taehyung, one step, that's all I can give him now. Taehyung didn't plan anything. He wanted a quiet day, but when he entered his cabin, a small gift was placed on his desk. A carefully packed box with a little golden ribbon. No name, no card. Inside was a tiny wooden sculpture of a saxophone hand covered with his on it. Taehyung stared at it for a long time. His finger glanced at the cover of the phone. He knew who it was from, and for the first time in a while, he smiled. It was late. Everyone had home except Taehyung and Jungkook, who were working overtime. The silence between them was peaceful, not awkward. Suddenly, Taehyung broke it. Taehyung, why didn't you give up on me? Jungkook looked up from his computer. Jungkook, because I never stopped you, and because I realized without trust means nothing. I want to build everything from the beginning, slowly, carefully. I'm not here to win you in a moment. I'm here to stay until you believe I won't break your heart again. Taehyung stared at him, his heart pondering. Taehyung, you are not perfect, Jungkook. You made mistakes, Jungkook softly. I know, and I'll keep making effort until you see the difference. Taehyung took a step. Taehyung took a deep breath. His voice was whispering, Taehyung, let's see how far you willing to go. As the day passed, Taehyung found himself slowly softening. The wall around his heart was still there, but Jungkook was patiently knocking, not with force but with kindness. A glance, a warm drink, an umbrella, a simple walk, a quiet conversation. Every little thing Jungkook did spoke louder than any grand gestures, and deep in Taehyung's heart, something hopeful began to bloom again. It has been 2 months since Jungkook started his journey of winning Taehyung's trust. Small Each small moment they shared, a kind word, a thoughtful action, slowly began healing the cracks in Tehung's heart. Tehung didn't know when it happened, but he started to look forward to seeing Jungkook. He didn't feel that old age anymore. When their eyes met, instant his heart felt warm, calm, and slowly full of love again. One evening, as the sky turned orange, the sunset, Jungkook softly called his name outside the office building. Jungkook, Tete, can I take you somewhere tomorrow evening? Taehyung tattled his head. Where? Jungkook smiled softly. Somewhere peaceful, no pressure, just you and me, a simple date. Taehyung was quiet for a moment, looking into Jungkook's gentle eyes. Then he nodded. Taehyung, okay, just don't be late. Jungkook's eyes lit up with joy. Jungkook, I won't. I promise. The next evening, Jungkook arrived right on time, dressed in a simple white shirt and jeans. He had brought off a small white Taehyung's favorite. When Taehyung came out wearing a soft vegan sweater and cream pants, Jungkook breathed caught in his thread. Taehyung softly, you look beautiful. Taehyung blushed lightly, you look nice too. Jungkook handed him a flower. Jungkook, these are for you, like you, simple and beautiful. Taehyung accepted them with a small smile. They drove quietly back to city, soft music playing in the background. Soon they reached a quiet hill just outside the city. The place was calm, surrounded by trees and fresh evening air. There was a little table set up, two chairs very large, wrapped around a tree, and a warm meal Jungkook had prepared himself. Taehyung surprised, you made this? Jungkook nodded shyly. Yes, I remember. You love dumplings and strawberry milk. I tried my best. Taehyung's heart softened even more. They sat down and began eating, laughing softly between bites. Taehyung, you remember everything about me, don't you? Jungkook smiled, even little things. After dinner, they sat on a picnic mat under the tree. The stars sparkled above them, a soft breeze below resting the leaf. Taehyung leaned back on his hand, gazed at the stars. Taehyung, this place feels peaceful. Jungkook, I want to bring you somewhere where your heart could rest. There was a long pause and then Taehyung turned to him. Taehyung softly, you will change Jungkook. Jungkook, I had to. Losing you taught me what really mattered. Taehyung looked down and had the ring still on Jungkook's finger. Taehyung, you never took it off. Jungkook shaking his head because my heart never moved on. Then come the moment Jungkook had dreamed about every night. Taehyung reached forward and gently held Jungkook's hand. Taehyung in a soft voice, I forgive you completely and I accept your love. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears. Jungkook choking up. Really? Are you sure, Taehyung? Taehyung nodding slowly. I'm sorry. It took time, but I never stopped you either. I just need to see if you still care enough to stay. Jungkook, I wonder we waiting forever. Taehyung, his tear smile. You are lucky I didn't make you wait that long. Jungkook laughed softly, holding his hand tighter. Then he looked at Taehyung with so much care. Jungkook whispering, can I you? Taehyung blushed, looking into his eyes. His heart burned red like it used to year ago. He nodded slowly. Taehyung whispering, please. Jungkook leaned in, gave enough time to pull back if he wanted, but Taehyung didn't move, and then made soft, gentle, full of longing, and thousand unspoken emotions. Jungkook kept Taehyung chase deepened just gently Taehyung hand held Jungkook not wanting the moment to end was just it was warm healing. It was like two hearts finding each other again after walking through a storm. They finally pull apart, their forehead touch, eyes closed, both smiling. Taehyung breathlessly. You still like a dream, Jungkook, only because it's you. They stay like that for a while, just holding each other, listening to the wind, and enjoying the soft light of the star above them. For the first time in a long time, everything felt right. Taehyung had let in again, and Jungkook had finally found his way home. The end. So I hope, Army, you would like this story. If you like, please don't forget like, share and subscribe my channel. If you have any suggestion, below comment down.